Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Chrono Cross walkthrough. We are hanging out in Sprig's house. So, we kind of tricked her into leaving, and then just kind of barged in, like we own the place. Okay, alright, so there we have it. Sprig joined ya party. Oh wow, that sounded really bad. So Sprig is kind of an interesting character. Not really anyone quite like her. So the interesting thing with her, so her for one thing, her grid is terrible. If you I guess you'll see in a little bit here, but I think even like fully maxed out, I think she's only got 3 open spots in her grid. I want to say she's got 1 open spot in her fifth tier of her grid, and then eventually she'll get a spot to open up on her 6th tier, and then I believe 1 more 6th tier, and I believe that's it. So again, I don't think she ever gets a 7th tier element spot, and I don't think she gets an 8th tier. So severely limited, if that wasn't already obvious. That's okay though, because she has on her 5th, permanently on her 5th tier of her grid, she's got an ability called Doppelgang, and that's going to do, I guess, exactly what it sounds like. She'll be able to Doppelgang stuff. Now, not everything is eligible for her Doppelgang list. She starts out with a couple. Most of them are weak. One of them is fairly decent though, if I remember right. The Lagoonate, I think is the name of that. And right here, I'm actually going to spend just a little bit of time, I think, filling up my grid. Because here, actually, I don't know if your elements carry over from, you know, whatever you had Surge equipped with at the end of the what is it, what is that tower? Draconian Tower, something like that. Fort Draconia. Wow, gosh, I'm kind of drawing a blank here on some of the basic information because I'm awesome. You know, or not. Anyways, all right. So I'm going to talk actually a little bit more about Sprig while I'm equipping my elements. You know, obviously I'm actually really just trying to get back to where I was at, and that's actually one of the semi-annoying aspects of this game is when you lose a character. I for whatever reason, I tend to pick characters that unfortunately end up, you know, leaving your party. And so I actually end up, you know, kind of rearranging elements quite a bit throughout the game, which, you know, again, a little bit annoying, but whatever. All right, we're going to deal with it. Anyways, back to Sprig. Some of the real, you know, pertinent information with her is that in order to doppelgang an enemy, again, it has to come from a certain list. Most bosses cannot be doppelganged, so you know, I guess I'll point those out. For the most part, though, keep in mind, you know, again, normally bosses can't be doppelganged, so don't worry too much. However, though, so she actually needs to land the killing blow on the enemy in order to doppelgang it. So you can't have Surge just go willy-nilly and kill everything in sight and expect to get more doppelgangs added to your list. That's not how it works. Unless you have a specific item that is not available for quite some time. It's called the Forget-Me-Not Pot. And that item is an accessory. You can equip it on anyone you want. And if that character that has it equipped kills an enemy, that enemy will be added to the doppelgang list. So keep that in mind. Again, though, unfortunately, we don't have that item yet, and it's not going to be available for quite some time. So if you want to add these enemies that are coming up to that doppelgang list, you'll have to finish them off with Sprig. So really good ways to kind of get her. So I mean, to be honest, Sprig is fairly weak. Okay, and then on top of that, sorry, I have to backtrack just a little bit here. I did a little bit of testing, and it seemed to me that if you're actually already doppelganged into another form, and Sprig lands the killing blow on an enemy that you don't have on your doppelgang list yet, she will not get that doppelgang. She has to land the killing blow in her original form. So, which leads me to the next topic. Oh, there's our, I think that's our second revive right there. Second or third. Actually lost track. But that leads me to the next part of Sprig and fun with, you know, obtaining doppelgangs. And that's that she's unfortunately fairly weak, but if it wasn't obvious, a really good way to get around that is to use buffing type elements on her. Bat Eye is amazing, as well as Strengthen. So, you know, if you want to add more doppelgangs to her list, I would suggest going about it that way. There are a few doppelgangs in the game that are kind of like one time only, so once you defeat that enemy you won't get another chance. I will try to point those out. I've actually already killed off one of them before Sprig was even available, and that was the Wingipede way back in the Hydra Marshes. I could have actually saved that until, you know, I guess Sprig became available, but I didn't. And to be honest, it's not that great of a whatchamacallit anyway. Doppelgang. Alright, anyways, alright, so we've got Harl here. Basically, the gist of this conversation is that, hey, you're not Surge anymore. For all intents and purposes, you are Lynx. And she basically says, like it or not, it doesn't really matter. You can accept it or not. But if you don't accept it, you're going to be kind of screwed. So that's I'm just going to sum up her conversation here. But, and then I guess she does have a little bit of, you know, information. Obviously, that the Surge from, you know, what is it, the Another World died, you know, 10 years ago, so on and so forth. But anyways, back to, actually, I want to add one more thing about Sprig, and that's that eventually here we're going to participate in what's called the Grand Slam, and that's going to be coming up here in, oh, I guess actually that's a while yet. I think it's a while anyway. Yeah. But basically the Grand Slam is a 3-on-3, which is, you know, I guess fairly common setup for a fight. But instead of using your 3 main characters, you can only pick from a list of Sprig's doppelgangs. So it'll actually be really, really important to try to get these doppelgangs, you know, added to her list. Here, this is a little puzzle. Basically, you just have to go into the door, the same door that whatever this Surge clone is going into. So just pay attention to whatever, you know, door he travels through. If you guess wrong, you just have to start over. It's not the end of the world, though. Now, Harl is actually finally going to join up. There she is. Joins our party or party. I don't know what they were going for there. Anyways, Harl is an absolute beast. I love Harl. Very, very strong magic stat. Her physical stat's even okay. But and then on top of that, her techs are really, really, really good. I believe her tier 2 tech is a multi-target. Her tier 5 tech is I believe that's her buff. I think it's a magic defense buff. And actually, I shouldn't even say that. It's not just a magic defense buff, because that's a little misleading. It halves the damage. My understanding, anyway, is that it halves the damage from elemental abilities or techs. Actually, I'm not sure. So there's one thing that I'm not 100% sure on, and that's whether or not you know, there's a such thing as physical versus magical type techs. I don't know. Or if they're just all kind of bundled into the same formula. I'm not actually sure on that. My impression was, you know, some techs are physical based and some techs are, you know, magic based. But again, I'm not 100% sure on that. I guess that's a fairly sizable question. So maybe that's another one of the things I have to add to my list of things to figure out in this game. But anyways, it's pretty important. She's, like I said, that's actually a really good ability. And then her tier 7 ability is her tier 7 tech is also a multi-target ability. Very strong. She's black innate, which is actually really good. There's only you know, I would say a few enemies that she's a real hindrance when you're fighting them. And then actually I wanted to bring up one more thing, actually going back to Sprig, and that's that to be honest, I'm not real, or I wasn't real wild with how I had her equipped. I went extremely offensive and went like, you know, Dragoon's on her, Dragoon Gauntlet, and I think Sight Scope on her. You know, just went full out offense. And to be honest, I really don't feel like that's needed. It's actually kind of overkill, and I feel like she just benefits a lot more from defensive items. And the reason for that is, once she's actually doppelganged, she's incredibly accurate. It's actually really strange. It's almost like she's got almost like a bat eye permanently. So it's rare that you know, won't have her fierce attack being at 99%. So again, really odd. I'm not really sure why they did that, but it actually even feels a little overpowered at times, you know, because she can just let loose, and then, you know, add on to the fact that you can still use like a strengthen element on her with, you know, one of the other characters, and it gets a little ridiculous. So I guess I haven't tried a lot of the other characters at this point. Well, to be honest, we don't have any choices right now. It's Link, Sprig, and Hall. So those are the 3 characters you're going to be using for the time being. But later on, I don't know at what point, but it seems to me like she's just impossible to beat as far as physical damage. So you know, I guess take that information as you see fit. But she's going to be fairly awesome for quite some time, and gosh, yeah, I guess even up to the point in the game that I'm playing right now, which is, you know, hours and hours beyond this point, I'm still using her, and for basically everything. So, but that being said, again, what I did there was, you know, I equipped her very offensively, and at a certain point, I just realized that she was dying almost every single boss fight, and you know, to be completely fair, her health total is atrocious. I'm trying to think of anybody that's even got a lower health stat than her right now, and I'm not sure that there is one. I think she's literally got the worst health stat, but she makes up for it in, you know, physical attack power. So you know, I guess keep that in mind. She's again, I felt like putting those defensive items on her helped out quite a bit more than the offensive ones. So I do like to. She's like, "Hey, old lady, you're not getting any younger. Control your emotions." And Sprig's all like, "Let's party!" Good stuff. Okay, so the place where it all started, where angels lose their way. Whatever, it has a bad ring to it. What exactly is it? I like Sprig. I don't know, Sprig's funny. Okay, so we have to find the other dimensional distortion, and it's actually important to remember that there's one here for actually much later on in the game. There, you see it on the ground there, which I think it actually disappears. So again, we won't be able to really do anything with it for a while, but eventually we will come back. So keep in mind that it is there. I'm going to use the green tinkler here to kind of cruise around the marshes. I'm not really sure if there was anything I needed here or not. Actually, you know what? I think the reason why I even bothered was I wanted to get the you know, I wanted to start working on Sprig's doppelgang list. So you'll see me, at the very least, attempting to get the final hit with Sprig on these enemies. And I would say, you know, some doppelgangs are more useful than others. There's a couple that, you know, really stand out to me that are just ridiculous, and I guess actually I'll point those out once we actually go to hunt them down. I think I've got footage of me, you know, working on my list and trying to get all the, you know, quote-unquote good ones, I guess, for the time being. But we'll see. One other cool thing about the doppelgangs is, at least in the Grand Slam, the better doppelgangs you get will have more HP. I don't think that that's necessarily true for when Sprig uses them in combat, though. I don't think her HP actually will change. I think she still ends up, you know, even if you doppelgang into something that's awesome, I think she has the same health totals. And I don't know, though, actually, if they if her stats will change or not. You know, if like she gets more strength or whatever based on her doppelgangs. I'm not actually sure on that. Guess maybe there's. I should probably consult some guides out there on Sprig. See if I can get some answers to these burning questions. Basically, though, I like Sprig. I like her a lot, and you know, regardless of kind of what, or regardless of the ins and outs of her sorry, doppelgangs. Wow. Regardless of that, I tend to use her because I really like a lot of them. I think they're really cool. So actually, yeah. So Sprig right now, actually, she does have a. So she's got 2 tier 5s, which one is technically doppelgang, and then she does have 1 tier 6 right now. So again, you know, unfortunately, as far as you know, casting in her normal form or her regular form, however you want to say it, she's not gonna have very many options. But that's okay. That's not really why you bring Sprig to the party anyway. Excuse me. Alright. And that's the other kind of neat thing that I like to try to do is weaken them with Lynx, or, you know, whatever Surge. He's extremely powerful. And then just land the kill shot with Sprig. It works pretty good. And actually, as far as the doppelgangs here in Hydra, the Hydra Swamp there's nothing really that great here. I made sure I got the goblins, and then what is this? The Quaffid, I think, is the name of these guys. That actually, oh, I guess there's whatever this. What is this thing? Excuse me. The Potpourri, I think. Although I'm not actually sure if that's a. I'm not sure if that's a doppelganger or not. And I say that because I'm not sure if you can actually, like, if you actually kill them, because I guess when it dies, it's, you know, it uses, what is it, toxic burst or something like, yeah, there it is. And so I'm not sure if it's actually, you know, considered you killing it. I guess I'll consult here and get that information. But to be honest, I don't know if that's a good or would be a good doppelgang anyway. So okay. Where are we at here? Oh yeah, that's right. I got poisoned. That's the lame thing about defeating those. Is that toxic burst sticks poison on you. Actually, I don't see the Potpourri as as a doppelgang on the list that I'm looking at right now. So that might not be a legitimate doppelgang. It actually isn't looking like it is. So I guess don't worry about that one. Move along. Okay, what do we have here? A couple of, what are these things called? Bite bugs or something like that, I think. And honestly, I don't know. Swamp bug. Okay. And I don't remember if these guys are decent or not. Wow, they're extremely weak. So I'm gonna, I'd take a guess and say no. Especially not for the Grand Slam. But we'll see. Alright, toxic first. Yeah, okay. Again, not actually. I don't actually think that that's an eligible doppelgang. At least it's not looking like it is. Okay. Die. There we go. Actually, some sort of like maybe like a stamina recovery ring would be decent on her for a while, just to try to, you know, get a little more, yeah, stamina regeneration, obviously. At least then, you know, when I have to defend with my other two characters so that she can regenerate her stamina, she'd get more. Okay, so I still have too many bones, and that's from doing so many random encounters in between stars. All right, so where are we gonna head to? I think we head into the village next. Yeah, Arnie Village. Actually, I'm gonna do a little bit of leveling, I believe. And actually stop in here at El Paso Beach. You can see this little scene here with the dimensional distortion not here. Or not working. I think there's a little, yeah, scene that happens. You have to use this, by the way, or you have to attempt it. But anyways, I am running out of time here, so I gotta cut the commentary. I hope this guide was helpful though, and I hope you join me for more. All right, thanks for watching.